Society is way too freaky and we need to do something about it right now. Not long ago, there was a controversy regarding the artist Sabrina Carpenter. Basically just white girl lore, Taylor Swift type of stuff that nobody really cares about at all. But what I did see online surfacing was her doing this really strange demonstration, if you will, with that mic. So yeah, long story short, she was given a microphone, the Gluck Gluck 3000, on stage with kids in attendance. Now, whether you feel like that was inappropriate or...
I can't say I think that's probably a little inappropriate. Especially like, you know, if you're at a concert and it's 18 plus, cool, do what you want. But if you're at a concert and a huge demographic of the people that's at your concert is, you know, 13, 14, 15-year-olds, and you're over here gesturing that you're sucking the mic, then it's might be an issue. You know what I mean? So I think that could be a problem. But, you know, if it is 18 plus, or, you know, your demographic is, you know, adults, then I guess it makes sense. You know, Chris Brown be over there humping the ground every, you know, show, and we don't be talking shit to him. But, you know, most of his demographic isn't children. I don't even know if he allows children at his concerts. So I guess that would be the difference.
Or you feel like that was too much, that's besides the point. But what I think we can all agree on is that things are getting more and more freaky, adults in general, on social media. And I know social media is absolutely cooked, because when I look for things like health related content, I'm met with the most like suggestive freak content that I've ever seen for no reason at all. Best crack in town.
Bro, and this is crazy. I can't even go on Twitter or X, whatever it is. I can't even go on the app, bro. As soon as you go on the app, it's just OF girls trying to sell their OF. The whole app. You know what I mean? And it's like, what the helly? But anyway.
Alright, we're gonna come down like this, and I'm contacting the front of the rib.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo, what is he doing? Jarvis. Enhance image. I don't have a Jarvis. Shit. Let me see. You know it's a problem when a motherfucker gotta announce to you what they're doing. Like, okay, I'm putting my hand on your breasticles. I'm rubbing the breasticles. You know, that's how you know it's probably something you shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they might as well just not do it at that point. If you have to announce things that you're doing, yes, I'm going to put my hand on the buttocks now. Nigga, you might as well just do it like you're, like, of course, like you're doing it. Why you gotta tell me that you're doing it? Pause.
Where was this job fair at school? When I do this, they call the police. And I'm sure some of these are like regular standard procedure and all that, but I feel like sometimes the focus of these videos are the body.
Nah. He just pushed on her lower back, and you saw the jiggles. Hold up.
Like sometimes the
you saw the vibration, bro. What? Hey. And why do you need to pull up the shirt? I don't think you need to pull up the shirt. You know what I'm saying? There's too much vibration after the you know, the act. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Of these videos are the body parts and the fact that they're touching on a female woman or something like.
Facts. It's almost like girls can't do anything without, you know, being sexualized, which is very true. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That, you know what I'm saying, the good, some might say. Can you do me a favor and abuse, smash, and destroy the hell out of that like button, please, and the subscribe button. Fully licensed and certified flexibility coach right here, all right? Dr. Stretch, 270,000 followers, all right? I'm gonna have to blur like this entire page, okay?
Sheesh.
Okay.
Nah, this fake.
Okay.
Cause this look crazy. Look at this. What type of pose, bro? Nah, that's fake.
Okay. Get your freaky ass on, Unc. This motherfucker David Dobrik done lost his marbles, bro. You don't need to be Einstein to recognize the fact that this is weird, all right? You are selling healthcare and being a licensed professional through sex.
Oh, he's a licensed professional. Nah, this isn't real, bro.
Great, we're gonna keep that going just
He's
like that.
There's always
trying
like
not to laugh.
content I see you doing the same thing.
Hey family, twirl that ass. Hey family, twirl that ass. Yes.
Niggas will do anything but hop on that treadmill, gang. Get on that Stairmaster, bro.
Don't
Do some
say
other
niggas.
types of cardio.
Those are not niggas.
Girl fitness, bro. This is what we're doing in 2024.
Now you go shopping, right? We go shopping. We gotta get the ingredients.
You know what? I'm hating. I'm sorry.
Hey, yo. Like, it's just odd to
Why does
see.
everything have to be so sensual and adult related in order?
And that is very factual. Like, the problem isn't the fact that these girls are wearing what they're wearing. It's that the fact that things have to be so sensualized. You know, let's not even say sexualized. She's a pregnant woman. You know what I mean? But sensualized. You know what I mean? That's like if you went to the gym and a girl's wearing short shorts, you know, her titties hanging out or whatever, and she's on the machine and she's like, you're gonna be like, hey, yo, what's going on here now? You know what I mean? And then if you look at her, you're a creep. It's like, no, she's doing too much. And it's like, it's giving, you know, those 90 movies? Like American Pie? That's what it's giving. The girl, when you be seeing girls doing shit in American Pie and shit.
Or to go viral, bro. That's something I always wondered. Like every time I see these posts, they're always doing numbers, and all these accounts that post stuff like this, the only posts that do well are the ones that are like really freaky. And I'm not gonna lie, Gen X, the millennials, baby boomers, I don't know who came up with the term sex sells, but they were goddamn right, and they still are to this day. Now, I'm sure y'all have also seen videos like the cooking videos that are really, really freaky and weird for no reason, which I'm not gonna mention those right now because
This isn't necessarily freaky, but why, like, put on a shirt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just put on a shirt. You know what I mean? Like,
everybody's seen
lock
those.
in.
And I knew things were getting really weird when actual companies started to do weird stuff like this. So take this for example right here. All right, look, Los Betos, Arizona. So Mexican food, nice looking plates. I ain't gonna lie, this looks kind of righteous. That company right there is doing things like this.
Bro, what the fuck? Your girl says she just made a commercial with the coworkers and shows you this. She's a natural. Yo, this is highly inappropriate and out of pocket. Are you guys open on Labor Day? You better come try our carne asada fries because I got sour cream in my eye. I'm cool on a jack off fries. Director Dan Snyder.
Come get the best carne asada fries from Los Betos. Yum yum.
I'm cool on the jack off fries.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that for her, bro. Because her job that she works at just sexualized her and posted it on the internet for thousands and thousands of people to see. And the crazy thing is, it's not necessarily sexualized. I'm sure they were all sitting there and nobody sexualized it themselves. But the fact that you put it on the internet and it's so easily sexualized becomes the problem. Shit.
She's a natural. POV, you're at a Diddy party. I'm not sure what this
Sheesh.
gif is right here. I'm sure it's just a
What the
lovely,
helly?
nice lady. Other forms of content where I've noticed that things get weirdly freaky for no reason is like fashion. For example, when people do get ready with me, where they'll show their outfit of the day from the bottom up, but they'll start the video when they're in their underwear and do a little 360 jiggle twerk for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Or if the dude will hit a little wiggle, 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 wiggle.
I ain't never seen that.
This is a kid's app. This is a kid's
I never
app.
seen
And
that,
look,
never seen
society
that.
has always been like this, but I really started to notice it a lot recently. Why are we doing cooking videos and shaking our ass in the same video? We can all agree that showing off your plate and then turning around and hitting the twerk is a little bit weird. When
She
has
didn't do
cooking
that?
been like some sexual like thing? It has not, bro. Stepping away from social media for a little bit, I always see people in real life.
The sad part is, bro, that's the only way to get views, gang. Like, you're not gonna get views if you think you're about to make some fucking burgers. Period. You know what I mean? The only way to get views is to do something that's overly sexualized. Really. You know what I mean? Or them burgers gotta be so fucking fire. Which should be the reason that it does well. But you could just bypass all the good in the sense of high quality content, whether that be making food or anything it may be. You can bypass all that by shaking a little ass. And it sucks. But it's true.
If actually too, doing things like the decorated hotel room, which is also a little bit freaky. You are decorating a hotel room for a woman that you barely know, saying happy birthday, happy Valentine's Day, will you be my girlfriend? Yes, we'll get in this bed and come take these strokes, man. Like, bro, no, that's not what you do. That is not romantic. I'm not no Romeo from Romeo and Juliet to tell you that you should not be doing that off the rip. Like, I understand the sentiment of wanting to decorate.
That's not so bad, bruh. Decorating a hotel room, that's not crazy. That's not crazy. Is it? He just sexualized it. So now it seems weird now, man. Now it seems weird now. But it could be like something that's super nice, you know? Like a girl, like she records like, you know, the flowers and all that shit. It's not too crazy, I don't think.
Decorate a place, but the fact that you're putting rose petals on the floor that leads up to a bed, you might as well put the extra small Trojan condoms on the bed too. You don't wear extra small? Just me?
Extra
All right, my
small.
bad, bro. But
Sheesh.
anyways, now we talked about some of the things that are way too freaky for no reason, and I know there is plenty of more. I remember seeing videos of like car girls, horse riding girls. If they somehow made like kids video games into like something freaky for no reason, I would believe you. Oh wait, they did it with Minecraft. And I guess this is a perfect segue into my next point, because I feel like that's the worst problem of all, is the fact that this is so accessible for kids. People make content like this, put it on YouTube Shorts, YouTube Kids, TikTok, and you are influencing kids to be this way or to consume adult content from a really young age when they shouldn't have. I know a lot of us watching this video, and me included, got involved and got to witness freaky content before we were even in middle school sometimes. In elementary, bro. I remember seeing videos like prank invasion, kissing pranks, smash or pass, touch my body challenge with these freaky ass.
I wasn't seeing that shit. Maybe I'm just older than bro. But I was not seeing that shit. What I was seeing was 2 girls, 1 cup. Holy shit. I saw 2 girls, 1 cup. Nigga was like, what the hell is this? I just remember people talking about it, and I never saw it. I didn't even know what it was, and I was at my friend's house one day, and they said, you ever seen the 2 girls, 1 cup video? I'm like, nah. He was like, bro, you gotta see this. Bro pulls out the 2 girls, 1 cup video, bro. I'm sick to this day. I don't know how that ended up anywhere. Whose kink is that? Somebody has a shit on them kink. Somebody has a shit kink. That's scary to think. You know what I mean? That's what they doing. That's what these girls be getting flown out to Dubai to do. Get shitted on. All type of shit. Maybe that was the market audience or something. Anyway. We just took a dark turn. We just took a very dark turn for the fucking worst. I'm sorry to all the girls that get shitted on in Dubai. You know what I mean? When I guess when you have so much fucking money, when you just have fuck you money, you could just do whatever you want. After, you know, smashing all the most beautiful women in the world, you probably need to take it up a notch for you to get to that point where you to even feel something. So you take it to the point where now you're shitting on bitches. Yeah. Don't look up 2 girls, 1 cup. Anyway.
Girls, the weirdest, strangest pranks that nobody should be doing, let alone being watched by a 13-year-old, 12-year-old, 11-year-old, which I guess you could say, oh, parents, watch your kids' social media, which obviously yes, but still, bro, I feel like that doesn't really excuse the content creators, in my opinion. And it is that deep because it can really set a kid back. A lot of us fell victim to gooning addictions, right? Beating that shit, you know what I'm saying? Once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. I know a dude who nutted 14 times in one day as a world record. I know a dude who nutted so far and measured where he nutted for a world record, all right? And then did it again the next day.
You need new friends, gang. You need new friends. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not telling my friends none of that shit. I'm not telling my friends none of that shit, bro. None of that. That's too much. Bro said 14 in a day. I'm not gonna lie. 14 is crazy. Maybe 4. Like max ever. Like, bro, max ever, like in life. Like ever. Like since the first day that, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like whole life. Maybe like max in a day 4 times. Max in a day 4 times. And that only happened once. You know what I mean? You know? 4 times is like crazy, like peak. You know what I mean? And then, you know, 3, maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times. You know what I'm saying? 2, it would happen every once in a while, and then 1, countless amount of times. But let me know what y'all world records are for yourself. Pause. Dang, this is taking a turn. I just said that it was weird for them to say that. But if you think you did like a crazy, like, you could say it in the comments, like, no Diddy zone, you know what I mean? Like, but I think like 4 is insane, you know what I mean? And that was like my peak. That had to be like top gooning day of my life, you know what I mean? But 14, seek help. You need help expeditiously, gang. But anyway,
to see if he could beat that world record. And we should not want that same future for Generation Alpha. What is wrong with wanting change? Nothing at all. We should always want change, especially for the future generations, all right? Matter of fact, Gen Alpha is already going to be cooked because their technology use is so high. You see those kids with 3, 5, 6 different devices all at one time. iPad here, iPad there. Oh, let me get that skibbity toilet this. Brain rot this.
Let me get
they
that
are already
skibbity
fried, all right?
toilet.
Now imagine their hands on some goddamn gooning material, bro. Now, I guess some of the solutions I thought of is, 1, the content creators shouldn't be posting stuff like this, all right? But if they are, material that is way too weird and freaky should get age restricted every time. It's one thing
That's
maybe
fact.
it's way
But,
too
like,
weird and freaky should
but
get age restricted.
let's-
Posting stuff like this.
it's crazy though, because like, look at this. Like, she knows what she's doing, obviously, but at the same time, if this was a dude making this video, same concept, like, let's say bro didn't have a shirt on, or like whatever it is, it wouldn't be this serious, you know what I mean? But because of the fact that it's a girl, it's like, it's gooning material, which is sad but true, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if we're gonna keep it a stack with ourselves, like, women want to be the prize, right? Women want men to pay for the first date, want men to open the car doors for them. They want men to, pay most of the bills in a household. You have to understand that there's, a reason that is. And the reason that is because the woman body, and if, like, that's just keeping it in a stack. The woman's body is more appealing to men than, men's body to women. I think. I don't even know. I couldn't say if it's more, but it's still in the sense of, you have something that men want, and that's the reason that men would do those things for you. So you have to understand that because of that, you can't necessarily take away the fact that, yes, okay, a dude can be shirtless and put a tire on a car and there's not a problem, but if you're wearing a bikini top and you're putting a tire on a car and bending over in tight jeans, now it's an issue because, yes, you're dropping gooner content. You feel me? But
This, all right, but if they are, material that is way too weird and freaky should get age restricted every time. It's one thing to be adding a little freaky joke here and there, you know what I'm saying, like they did in SpongeBob, that throw a little sexual innuendo in our face a couple times, where the kids wouldn't understand what it is, but the adults watching would feel a little bit of entertainment. But they're putting it smack dead in our face, all right? There's no innuendo when a woman is twerking a BBL in the face of a 12-year-old watching a screen, like, damn. So, 1, age restricting on a lot of content should get restricted or should at least get flagged as adult. These apps can raise their age of usage to like 18. And before it slips my mind, another problem that I thought of that nobody really has talked about that I've heard of, I feel like a lot of these OF demons who start really young see content like this when they're young and be like, damn, I could do that too. For example, you remember how like there was Bad Baby or like Sophie Rain starting their OF up as soon as they turn 18 and have millions of dollars entry level? First of all, the dudes subscribing to those OF, you are sick individuals waiting on a 17-year-old to turn 366 days old. But I feel like seeing content like this inspires the youth to do that too, because why are you waiting and not even giving yourself a chance at a normal career? And I want to talk about that in a different video where I speak about like the underage thirst trapper, underage to adult film worker pipeline in a different video.
one thing I can say that I feel like the average male isn't doing that. You know what I mean? I feel like the average male isn't paying for OnlyFans, or an average adult male, right? He said he thinks it's weird that, and it's something I said in my other videos. I feel like it isn't necessarily grown men that are paying for this. You feel me? Most of the people watching those videos, let's say Sophie Rain, all that shit, it's not mostly men. It's mostly children. So I think I'm one day I'm actually gonna go into making an account on OnlyFans and see exactly what they ask you as criteria to say that you are over the age of 18. Because I don't think 18-year-olds are paying for this shit, bro. I think that there is 16, 15, 14, 17, even some 18, 19, even possibly 20-year-olds paying for that shit. But for the most part, I think they're actual children paying for that shit, bro. And they're using they motherfucking, how Cash App, they lowered the price or the age for you to have like a Cash App card. These niggas are probably using the money they getting from their mama and paying for Sophie Rain's OnlyFans, gang. You know what I mean? So I honestly don't think it's adults. And I wish there was a way for me to actually test this hypothesis. But I honestly don't think it's mostly adults. I think it's mostly, people under the age of, let's say, 23, 24. And then, past the age of like 30, 35. You know what I mean? Like just niggas that ain't getting no play and they just like, fuck it, I'm paying for it. But yeah, anyway. Back to the video.
But yeah, let me know if you guys would be interested in that, because we can dive into that in a whole different topic. Of course, the solutions: block, unfavorite, don't share, don't interact with content like this. And of course, parents, always monitor your children's social media devices. These social media apps are not safe at all. You do not know what your kid is watching, what your kid is seeing. You don't know how it's going to affect them, bro. I feel like phones is one of the worst things that a person who's under 16 can have. Honestly,
Facts.
Kids aside, I feel like there's plenty of adults like me or you or anybody else watching the video who just doesn't want to see countless influxes of like adult content for no reason, bro. This does not need to be on our feeds, all right? Sometimes we want to see a little educational video. We don't want to see a motherfucker shaking their butt and making food. It gets to a point, bro. We talking about some of the problems with an adult freaky society, some of the problems that how it affects children, how it affects adults. I talked about my opinions on it, why I think it's a problem, and how much of it I see. And I'm sure a lot of you guys noticed the exact same phenomenon as well, so I know I'm not crazy. I don't know, or maybe I am crazy.
I feel like there should be a PG-13 button on your phone. You know what I mean? Like there should be like a PG-13 button like for different apps, like where you're kind of like, all right, bro, don't show me no bullshit. Just show me like, kind-hearted, funny shit, but like PG-13 shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, there could be innuendos and shit like that, but there should be a button where it's kind of like I'm on PG-13 mode, bro. Like, or under 17 mode. Pause. Under 17 in the sense of like, okay, let's say not adult content mode. Like if I'm on Instagram and I turn on my non-adult content mode, then now I'm being shown actual content rather than, half-naked women. And then I think the way that you can, decipher on if it is, adult content or not adult content is literally just people, actually clicking on if it is adult content. There should be like a button. You're like, oh, this is adult content. And then if enough people say it's adult content, you put it in the adult content zone. And I feel like that would be good. And I feel like kids, their parents should have control of that. But anyway.
Let me know in the comments down below, am I tripping? Because I know there's going to be some person in the comments like, oh, are you gay? You must be gay. You must be gay. Because everything in life, if you don't like it, you're gay. You're gay. You're gay. You're gay. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think that society is way too lustful, way too freaky, way too freaked out? Or do you think it's always been that way and it's not really that deep? Because I do think it's always been that way, but it's getting more boosted because we're getting older now. Gen Z is now a little older. Now I'm seeing it just a lot more because it's my generation. But I also think social media has significantly boosted the amount of people and the amount of views and the amount of things that we can see. Being able to be seen and content being pushed out with social media has made so many more, like, people go viral. And when new things go viral, more innovation, you know what I'm saying? Old content is boring. People got to make things weirdly freaky and weirdly sexual. Please make sure you like, subscribe. We are on the road to 100K. Comment down below what you want to see next. Make sure you don't have the Discord link in the description, and also sub to the second channel where the reactions are. As always, DM me on IG if you have any ideas that you want me to talk about and you think that would make an interesting video. And with that being said, it's Love It Law. I love you.
Hey man, this is a good video. It's crazy to think about because I can't even, like, stuff like this, I can't even picture, you know, from the angle of a woman, where it's like you can't post the same things that a guy posts, but it's literally because you hold more value than a man. You know what I mean? And it's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? It's a double-edged sword at the end of the day. Like, yes, you can't post what a guy posts, but also, you know, if we're on the Titanic and it starts to fucking sink, you know, all the women are gonna hop inside the lifeboats first. You know, women and children. Right? And then all the fucking men are just gonna fucking die. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, it's a double-edged sword, right? You want niggas to pay for everything and, you know, buy the food and on first dates and open car doors and be gentlemen and shit like that. The reason that niggas is doing that is because you hold more value. And that's just is what it is. And we have to understand that. I recently watched a video, what was it? Yesterday. And the video said, as women, it was a girl. It was a girl. She was on there. She was like, women, the way they move, they don't move like they actually think that men are dangerous or predators. You know what I mean? It's like, at the end of the day, you need to be dangerous. I mean, be safe, right? So if I'm walking in the middle of the night back in the 1500s and I know that there's bears outside, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be fucking terrified, of course. But I'm also, chances are, I'm not gonna go out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to dress dark or try to dress in a way where I'm not causing myself more attention. Because if the bears see me, I'm fucking cooked. So, it's like, she was saying that women can't really think that men are these evil things that they make men out to be if they're willing to, you know, put themselves in harm's way. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's a crazy thing to think about because at the end of the day, I'm not a woman and I could never be a woman. So it's just, is what it is. This is all my opinion. But I can definitely understand from a woman's perspective, like thinking to themselves, like, I can't do what I want because I have to be careful of such and such. You know what I mean? Which is, yes, bad, you know, but on the flip side, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. You get things that a man could never get. And, yeah. But anyway, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that other shit. And I love you. Peace.